like my process for like how I get like to the 500 board.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, so I got a database I start up in June usually, for the draft the next season, and I get sent the two NFL scouting services that they have documents they put out with letter grades on guys, and then their last known measurements, and either their last known 40 or else they estimate a 40 time, and basically that's how I populate it. Blesto and NFS are those, but that's how I start populating it. And then during the fall, I'll add my PFF grades and, get data in the thing. And then during the fall, I'll start adding notes, and I will start adding player comps. If I see, one and it's out, it evokes something. And so I'll just sort of, and then once we get into the draft process itself, taking out the guys that have returned to school, making sure that we get in everybody that declared and whatnot. And then, for the 500 board, at that point, we've gotten a bunch of the extra data, of course, from the previous season, we have all that data in, and then my analytics off that, all the testing numbers, the RAS, different stuff like that, populate them. And then, we have position by position pages for them. And then with the 500 board, as you know, Gene, I'm a little bit obsessive, I guess you'd say maybe, but I go over the previous 5 years of the draft by position, figure out the average amount of players by position that were drafted, get a baseline, and then I toggle them up and down based on position strength this year. So, for instance, running back, way stronger than last year, way stronger than the past couple of years. So that gets toggled up a bit. Interior defensive line gets toggled up. This year, a wide receiver, quarterback got toggled down. There's a couple other positions. But anyway, that's how I figure out how many guys per position will be in my top 257. Because on my board, I cut it at first round 32. I'm not one of those guys that says, oh, I only have 11 first round grades this year. There's 32 slots in the first round. So we got 32. And then, all the way down to 257. So, in my sheet, I have a key for how many guys per position will be in that 257, and then extrapolate it out for the 500. So, even though I have most of my position rankings are more or less finalized to this point, I will start laying out the 500 board either tomorrow or on Tuesday. But, we got to get done with all this stuff in advance. But I can already tell you how many of each position will be in it. 22 quarterbacks, 49 running backs, 2 fullbacks, 65 receivers, 25 tight ends, 40 offensive tackles, etc. So that's how I get to the 500 board. But throughout the spring, we're just burrowing in deeper to try to make each position list as close to how I see it with all the data and all the context that I've accrued as I possibly can. That's the game.